live. So give it a couple seconds to refresh, and we should be good to go.
Uh-huh.
Mm, coffee, coffee, coffee.
Live. So give it a couple seconds. Oh yeah, I can hear myself.
All right, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get rid of this sound real quick. Okay. So, practice target 479. Where did you get the target from?
I asked AI to find. Initially, I would like to do a news forecast, like predicting what is going to happen in April or in May, because we are already at the end of the April. And later, I changed my thought. I asked AI, what do you think is the most impactful news for this month for April? And I just asked ChatGPT to do a web search, and yeah, this target is literally chosen by ChatGPT.
Oh, so it's an actual Chat GTP target. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, the target is not blind to me because I asked ChatGPT to do a web search, and so I know the results, and I set the result as the target.
You set the result as it. Okay, so you did the search. You checked the results. Oh, I got it. I got it.
Uh-huh.
All right. So what do we have?
And make it a target. So it's actually a news event target, but but this news already happened. Not it's not a future news forecast.
Right. Well, Shed, maybe what is today? The 26th. Maybe next week we should have the target should be the do a front-loaded future news event for next week.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, so how many people we got? Gordon, me, Leora,
Oh,
and
we
Rhythmus.
actually have many participants for this week, and I'm really happy that yeah, people do check messages in your Discord and yeah, and cooperated. Yeah, I really appreciate the effort. Whether it's a hit or miss, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, the point is, yeah, people would like to participate when we really need remote viewers. Yeah, that's what really matters to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this is Dumbledore.
Yeah, this is from Dumbledore, and I'll just give a brief overview of what he wrote on his page. First is he described there are figures present, and he perceived things crawling out of trapdoor, and everything feels dark to him. And white ball of light probing, and also he wrote down fluid and flowing downstream with debris, and everything is in red. And he drew a visual of how perceived the spot would look like several people standing, and there is something uh, maybe something on the ground or lying on the ground, and things crawling out of the trapdoor, but we don't really know what that things are. And also, yeah, a white ball of light probing and feels 2D, two dimensional. Yeah, everything in red, fluid. So it's a very strange experience, I would say.
Yeah, that's
Not
a
something you would know, not something you would normally see.
no. That one like looks kind of weird.
Yeah, kind of weird, and I can understand. Once you know the target, you will understand why it's why is that way. Okay, so the next page, moving onward, the second page, he described is our film theater, and white he perceive a white screen, and there are guys watching maybe watching the movies. It's but what is a white screen. Nothing is on the film. So he described maybe is in a room and is in a theater, and he perceives a person, and he is reading a scroll, and this scroll feels like the Bible and related to the projected film above. And this scroll is very lengthy, and there are words written on it. And beneath, we can say Dorothy waking up in bed and with straw stirring pot in its animation. A Wizard of Oz, Sponge walking on yellow brick road feels like a metaphor. So yeah, sometimes you don't know what remote viewing data really gives you. Yeah, sometimes it's literal, but also in other cases it's a metaphor. So we don't really know. But to me, I would interpret it as a journey. Yeah, a journey of and with a bunch of people and towards some place, but we don't know what that place is. So here in his data, we see human subjects and not just one, but a few people, and they seem to be having some activities and events, but we don't really know exactly what the activity and events are.
How come this one looks so different than the other pages?
Oh, this is from Gordon.
That's from Gordon right there.
Yeah, this is from Gordon.
So Dumbledore only had 2 pages.
Yes, for this session, Dumbledore only had 2 pages of data, but I will tell you this. The volume of the data doesn't really matter, but the quality is.
Right, right. Oh
So
yeah,
and
without a doubt.
yeah, without a doubt, sure. So let's move on. The second participant is Gordon, and this one, he perceived view from top as if looking down, and like carrot with green top. And for colors, he perceived orange, red, and he also feel that is the target is something bent like a curl, and like one of those binoculars at vista points, but a bit skewed. And also he perceived a slice of line and feels like a sheet of paper crumbling a bit. So for his data, I would say it's all over the place. I don't know how to describe it. But in Dumbledore's data, it's also all over the place. If you just look on the first glance.
So I got a quick question about his data. So he's got
Mhm.
D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6, D7.
Yeah, I don't know what that really means, but I was suppose is different stages of remote viewing session, like stage one, stage two, stage three. The,
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
this kind of stuff. And usually people stop at stage six because according to CRV, there are only 6 stages.
Right.
But obviously he wrote down D7, so and also D8. So I don't really understand what this D means. But to me, it feels like different stages of probing the target. Yeah.
That's pretty cool because if you look on the side corner of the paper, it kind of has like blocked out D1, D2, D3. Then the next block is D. I think that's 4, 5, and 6. So that I think I understand what he's doing, but I'm not quite sure.
Mm-hmm.
What's this? Oh, mine.
Yeah, it's your data. UFO entering volcano.
Yeah, because I don't. Did you get both
PKLL.
Yeah, did you get both pictures? Uh, I don't see it. I must not have taken it. One of the pictures was an actual volcano, and it looked like there's something going into it. I must not have taken the picture, but and then the other thing is this large paved. There's a large paved area,
Mm-hmm.
and for whatever reason, the structures look like that city center. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure what that was. Um, I really do need to label my friggin' I need to label my pictures or my whiteboards. So, but yeah, there it is. Feels like a volcano. The Mexican volcano erupting.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there was building, energy, people, water, vehicle, and unknown. So, oh, that was an event. So an unknown,
Unknown event.
no, there's an unknown person, or not a person, but an unknown entity, and then an event. So that
Mm-hmm.
was my ideograms.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got this object. It was black. It was frozen, but it was flowing. So
Mm-hmm.
it was some kind of liquid or something, maybe like glass. Government news. Okay, so the people involved was the government, was the local, two groups, and local politicians.
Mm-hmm.
And South America. I felt like it was in South America.
Uh-huh. Very interesting. I wouldn't call it a hit, but there are some good insights in your data. We will talk about it later.
Okay.
Yeah, very interesting. Okay, so moving on. This is from Leora, and yeah,
She does such
and
detailed work, man.
yeah, very detailed remote viewing data. I think I like it, and for clients they also like it too because yeah they would like to see a lot of information. Either it's a hit or not, it doesn't matter. Yeah, as long as you can give out detailed information, yeah, the clients like it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So anyway, he described is in a indoor environment, and he wrote down sliding doors with blinds and table with chairs, computers, buttons, panels, and she also perceived people. A person with a hat is in control, and wing and an alarm going off, and a color red in a hallway, red light, and people are talking. And she also perceived there is a X in a case, but she has no idea what that means. And she also heard phone ringing, and yeah, basically that's the general picture visual he get. Basically, it's an indoor environment and a bunch of people, and they seem to be talking. And yeah, there is a S in the case, and phone rings, and the color red in the hallway, red light, and alarm going off. So I would say she's describing a event and possibly an emergency event because she described alarm and the phone going and the phone ringing. That's why I can see from his data, from her data,
right.
and this is mine.
Yeah, that looks like an actual like an office meeting of a very important event. So,
Mhm.
what is this?
This is mine. Because I know the target, so I have to do it the other way. I set myself I set it as a ARV target, like a yes or no question. So if the question is, if the answer is yes, I get a visual of a certain image, and if the answer is no, I get the visual of the other image.
Right.
So that's how I do this because I'm not blind to it. So I
Right.
have to do to remove you this it in a different fashion. So basically, I perceive a person, and he or she I don't know, and this person is standing by a river side and looking into the water, and I can see this person's reflection, and I don't know what that means, but that's the first visual I get.
Okay.
And for the second page, and I it is a very strange visual. I sensed I don't see anything, but I feel that something is spinning, and this thing has three separate parts, and they are almost like identical to each other, and yeah, just spinning rings. And I because I don't see it clearly, I describe the color as black, but I feel that because they are is spinning, I feel that there are energetics involved. And for the next session, I perceive something, an object. It's soft, it's thin, it feels plastic, and it feels airy, it's floating, and the color looks blue to me. And it has got a shiny surface and feels spherical, and I immediately get a deduction area. It's a balloon. Yeah, but I don't know why I see a balloon. And this is my summary. I actually think I missed a target because I get three separate reviews and with inconsistent data, and I cannot draw, I cannot come to any conclusion. But anyway, I try to remove this and I get some data and I put it down on the paper. That's all I do. And I believe many reviewers they feel the same way. When they do their section, they don't know what they are looking at, but they just put down the data never regardless.
Right, right. You put down the data. You try not to draw any conclusions.
Oh, and there's another one I would like to read for you. It's not an image. It's a it's Rhythmatist. He wrote to me in a personal message. So he didn't view this. So but he wrote a message to me, and I'll just read it for you. I did view the target 47923065. It feels less like a training exercise, but more like a call. I followed it, saw what was kept, and chose not to interfere. It is in a room slash space. Is it the Ark of the Covenant? And of course, I didn't answer that. So that's his data. He didn't draw anything, but he wrote a private message to me.
Yeah.
That's all. Okay, so now you have seen all the data from different participants. What do you think the target
You
could
can
be?
share the
Or
picture, Jeff, if you want.
What's that?
You can share the picture that I have drawn if you want.
Okay. Let me go back to. Let me go back to.
I didn't saw any picture for you. Sorry. I checked the Discord channel, but I didn't saw it.
Oh, there's your yes no.
Yeah, yes and
Okay.
no question.
Look at the spinning black rings, reflections, the blue floating through. So let's look at that real quick before we go on. So there's the
There's no balloon.
there's what do you mean there's no balloon right there, man? Look at that
Oh,
beautiful.
there's color, but there's no balloon.
I don't know. She's floating in the air.
Uh huh.
This one, on the other hand, doesn't have the color. There's no spinning orbs. There's no these. You have the.
I would say there are few elements in my description that matches this one, but I wouldn't consider it as a hit for myself.
Oh, I would. I actually liked this one as a. What was that? No. Yeah, that's no.
Uh huh.
I think that was a no because you look at that, man. I tell you, that hits so many of your details. The spinning orbs, the different directions, the floating blue balloon, yeah, and the colors. So, but soft thin plastic coating, air, energetic rings. That would be the cars and the reflection. And if you look down on it's a rainy day, so you got water. You can see the reflections. You can literally see the people looking at themselves.
Okay, if you want to interpret it that way, I cannot help you. Uh, it's a bit.
I don't know because
I would say
the
it's
picture
tending too much.
the picture above has no reflection. If you look in the water where the guy's standing, there's no reflection at all. Yet this one has every shadow
Mm-hmm.
has a reflection. So
Mm-hmm.
many of the elements that yeah, I mean, for me that would have been a hard no. Because when I do ARV, I'll get aspects of. I won't get the actual picture. I will just get aspects of, just like your balloon, your reflections, your spinning discs. And if you notice, there's one, two. I only see two of them, but both cars are going different directions. Just like your spinning black things were going different directions. So yeah, that's a hard no on a for when I do ARV. This would be a hard no. So all right. So what were we talking about? We were talking about the target. Target
So you
reveal.
know the target, right?
The target reveal is Vatican. Is this the target? The target reveal?
Yes. you can move downward and check the link.
Okay.
Target reveal. Further down, further downwards, further downwards.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, target source. Target source.
Okay, so that's. Oh my God. I was forget. Man, my data rocked. Okay.
And actually, I changed the description a little bit because I would like remote viewers to focus on a specific aspect of this event. The target queue and tasking instruction given by ChatGPT after my modification is describe the moment of transition from physical life to death and the immediate non-physical experience of the individual known as George Mario Bergoglio or Pope Francis during April 2025 as publicly documented.
Okay. Run. Hold on. Let me pull that back up. Run that by me again. What was the
Sorry?
tasking?
Oh, the tasking was describe the moment of transition from physical life to death and the immediate non-physical experience of the individual known as Pope Francis during April 2025 as publicly documented.
Wow, Dumbledore, that's some scary shit right there.
Yeah, and there are
So it was
several
not
aspects that you
happened
could
yet.
focus on, like the physical environment or the key individual present or the subjective perception and non-physical sensation experienced by the individual, or maybe emotions and interpersonal dynamics, or any ceremonial or spiritual components are observed at the moment of transition. Yeah, there are many ways to describe it, but basically the focus is on the event itself, and and looking backwards, you will see that Dumbledore's data, although on the surface it looks as if it's all over the place, but once you know the tasking, you will see that he did a very good job in describing what actually happened.
He did. He did a great job. And not only that, but it was closest to the tasking Spanish or. Yeah, that got cut off.
And the reason why I thought that you also mentioned several interesting aspects of this target is, yeah, you specifically said is from Argentina. Yeah, not Argentina, South America. South America.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're
And
missing.
the Pope,
We're missing one of my pictures, but yeah, the Pope is from South America. And but if
yes.
this picture on the right where it shows there's four blocks all arranged, paved area, and that's actually the um, picture on the target.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to find that picture I just saw. Anyways, but yeah, that I'm thinking Dumbledore actually nailed it. And
Yeah, Dumbledore's data is, I would say, pretty good. And he specifically mentioned Bible.
yeah, yeah, AOL
And
software.
he also described the transition as in a metaphorical fashion, like a story, a wizard of Oz walking on yellow, yeah,
In a way, it's
wizard walking
described as
on
a
yellow brick
symbol, right?
road feels like a metaphor. It's indeed a metaphor.
Yeah,
And for Rhythm's data, he, even though it's not a lot of information from him, but he specifically mentioned the Ark of the Covenant, which
right.
is which holds some very uh biblical importance. Yeah, so I wouldn't consider it as a hit, but it's some relevant data.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I mean that is even Aura's data describe the people involved. You know,
Oh, for the settings, yeah, and the surrounding environment, the aura. yeah, did pretty well on this one. Yeah, I'm sure about it. But compared to Dumbledore's, it's not as clear as Dumbledore's data because you could not tell that it has some religious component to it, or
Right.
maybe in a hospital. We don't know. But she did mention that she heard a ringing phone and red and ringing phone and a ringing alarm and red light. Yeah, these are some of the relevant information she gave.
Right. I don't think that's how ARV works. One image with life. Okay, my third image was a life review. Second image was the physical body, the bloodstream, the white ball, and the first sketch was a soul. The ideogram was ascension. The Wizard of Oz sketch was related to life journey.
Yes, life journey. Yes, it's on the surface. It looks like as if Dumbledore's data is all over the place. But if you look closely and see my tasking,
Yeah.
you will see that Dumbledore's data very good.
Well, I'll tell you what. If the Wizard of Oz sketches was the life journey, that is one ugly Dorothy. I'm telling you what.
Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
walking on yellow brick road feels like a
Yeah.
metaphor. It is indeed a metaphor. It's a life journey review.
That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty good, Dumbledore. Dumbledore. What do you mean? I don't think that's how. We'll have to talk about that ARV stuff. But yeah, that's you're right. I think Dumbledore got very much the closest. Love his data.
Yeah,
The thing's crawling out of the trap door. Hi.
actually, I would say in some way, I think Dumbledore actually hit the target. Yeah, maybe different monitors have different opinion on this, but in for me personally, I would say Dumbledore hit the target. His data meet the threshold.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm liking his data a lot. So Gordon, not so much, but definitely data. I'm sorry, definitely Dumbledore. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, very interesting. So it also to me his data showed me several a few things. First is yeah, removing of course we all know that removing works. And second is specific target queue and the tasking instruction really works because I specifically asked the reviewer to describe the moment of transition from physical life to death. I'm not talking about oh people what happened after he passed away and the political events and the stuff. Yeah, and now I or things that happened before he died. But I specifically mentioned that the viewer should describe the moment of transition from physical life to death. And yeah, and the rest I leave the rest to the remote viewers to find out. Like you could describe the surrounding environments, you could describe key individuals or the subjective perceptions or like physical ones or non-physical ones or any spiritual components. Yeah.
So
So
when I had my AOL of the volcano and the UFO going into the volcano or out of the volcano, I can't remember which one it was.
mhm.
Um, that's obviously I don't know what I was looking at, but I had an actual visual of a white light in a volcano, either going into or out of. So
Mhm.
that aspect alone was for your target was pretty much dead on. That the soul was leaving, going somewhere. So, but
So
that's
do you think that these experiences are real? Because I've heard of similar stories like from either from New Age communities or like from medical studies like in the field of near death experiences. It appears that people share similar experiences when they experienced a transition from life to death or death to life or brought back to life. Yeah, these are the stories shared by many, I would say.
Well, the whole basis on that is to do you have a soul? I mean, that is the question of the year. I mean, do you have a soul? So if we can't prove that we have souls, then it's kind of a non-issue. The whole thing comes
Mm-hmm,
down to science if they can prove that there's actually an energetic portion of it that we would consider a soul. And does a soul pass on and where does it go to?
mm-hmm.
So it would be interesting to find out. I mean, I can't conclusively say either way because I don't have enough data on my own
No,
to
but it appears that we have got one from this session.
for this session.
And
Yeah, how many of
and
us said that there was an actual light or something being emitted? So I mean, me and Dumbledore both said something left, some energetic portion left, which
mm-hmm,
we could conclude that was a soul.
mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering where it went to.
Well, recently I also read on Twitter that that means because now the U.S. government has released some classified documents with regard to the JFK assassination event, and that means also shared he, his past remote viewing data with with Farsight, yeah, with regard to the JFK assassination, and that means also describes similar scene. Yeah, because during his remote viewing
Yes.
session, he described a transition event from life to death about the targeted person, and yeah, so that's also another reason why I would like the remote viewers to focus on this part because I know that Smith has remote view stuff like this. I would like to see if other remote viewers can remote view this. And obvious, I would say from Dumbledore's data, it appears that remote viewers can really focus on this transition event.
Yeah, but there's two aspects of that transition event. One is the aspect of the soul leaving the body. The second aspect is the fact that there's a trap door with things crawling out from underneath it. That
A
that's the part.
trapdoor.
Well, that's the part that I
What
see.
do you mean by trapdoor?
Look at his data. Here, let me pull it up real quick. In his data, if I can pull it up, there we go. Right there. Things crawling out of a trapdoor. So
Oh.
now you have the fact that you have a dimensional aspect of a soul. Yay! Everybody's happy we have a soul. But you also have there's a trap door with dark things crawling out of it. That's the aspect I see all the time. I see
Mm-hmm.
I see the dark things crawling out of these trap doors. The white ball of light, yay, that's great. We all have souls, but what are these dark things crawling out? Well, when you're viewing when you're viewing that white light receding on these remote views, you're also going to find the dark things. So everybody, take note. You get the good and the bad, and
Uh-huh.
so it should be interesting.
Yeah, should be interesting.
But yeah, I the hard part of this is the fact. Um, why does that keep going away? That is so crazy. I, I just lost an aspect. My OSB is slowly crashing. it's it's like, come on. Oh shit, I don't know. Anyways, the the whole aspect of a soul is really cool, but man, it's a really scary road to go down. The minute you acknowledge that we all have souls, you also got to acknowledge that there's stuff out there that you know is good and bad. The minute you acknowledge
Uh-huh.
the good and the bad, and you start seeing the good and the bad, that's when it gets fun. That's when life gets really interesting. So, but on that note, it can be interesting. I mean, I'm not going to discount the fact that there's something out there.
Hmm.
I'm just going to say that when we look at it, we got to be careful.
And even the religious people like Pope Francis also need to deal with them.
Yeah, exactly. So the whoever's going to be the next pope is going to have to deal with um, all the good and bad aspects of this. So
Hmm.
yeah, there it is, Firefox. Okay. So anyways, that was a good target, and I like the fact that you narrowed it down to a particular aspect of this. Um, the fact that you narrowed it down to the minute of that made it much more refined and much more elegant tasking. Um, so did Dumble? Are you gonna say that Dumbledore won the how much is it? $40?
Yeah, $40.
Okay,
$40 of our meme tokens.
nice. Is he the winner for today?
Yeah, I think so. If you agree that he did spectacular, then I think it's fine to announce that he is the winner.
Yeah, I'm all for it because I think his data is very hits all the aspects that we're looking for. So I like it a
Yeah,
lot.
although there are many, also a large portion of it cannot be verified, but there are also some verifiable elements, like he mentioned the Bible,
Right,
and to me that's a clearly relevant.
right. So the only other thing is the Aura's view, which detailed the going ons of
Oh, surrounding environment.
the
Maybe it's in a
surrounding
hospital setting.
right
Yeah.
the surrounding environments, not the actual event. So Aura would be a second. What would you call it? A second runner up, and
Hmm.
she did very well too. So yeah, that was a very good contest. All right, well,
And it's also a very high value target. Yeah, because if you know that Pope Francis is not going to make it through this month, then yeah, some people would like to know this information in advance.
That's the thing is when you have somebody who's really sick, there's a lot of money riding on the fact that is he going to make it or not. So man,
Yes,
I tell you,
it's
we could have put money down saying that yeah, about this time he's going to pass away, and we could have made a
no, no, no. To me, that's a bad idea. Very, very bad idea. Is to me personally is really not a good thing to bet whether someone is going to live or die. Yeah, on a betting market like polling market, they don't put this target on their website, and I think they don't do this kind of thing for a reason because there are moral issues behind it. So we
right,
never bet whether you will survive it or not. We never make this kind of bet. But there are people who would like to pay to get this kind of information.
right,
Yeah, we
right.
just need to know that. So, anyways, to me, this is a high value target, and I agree with ChatGPT's selection. AI also think that the passing of Pope is the most influential news in throughout this month. Although there are other news like tariffs from Trump, but I don't think but yeah, if we want to consider the degree that it affects people, I would say the passing of Pope has much greater influence on people all over the world.
So I hate to say this, I've got a much bigger target in mind, um, and it it makes the Pope dying small potatoes. So um,
Small potatoes.
yeah,
You better not say this. You people would get angry.
no, I mean if you guys want to look into it, if you want to use it as a target,
Uh huh.
actually no, let's not use it as a target. I mean let me just tell you outright. Um,
Oh, it's fine if you don't tell me because
well,
I'm blind to it. I just give you a number and ask people to remove it.
but unfortunately it's going to be an event that is going to cause a lot of people to be very angry. So the event is going to be Pakistan and India. A lot of people don't know that
Oh,
Pakistan and India are nuclear rivals.
uh huh.
They are against each other, and eventually it's going to lead to nuclear war. And you know what the nuclear clock looks like. It's like 10 minutes to midnight or something like that. Between
Mm-hmm.
Pakistan and India, it's a lot closer. So their countdown is coming. Now that if we want to if we want to do a target, the target would have been how soon before India and Pakistan start a small scale conflict that will lead to World War III, because that is where it's going to start. I thought maybe it'd be in the Middle East or Israel, but it's going to start in India. It's going to lead to the Middle East. It's going to spread out and it's going to go from there. And then the big boys are going to jump in and everybody's going to have a good time. Or the big boys will say, hey, wait a sec, you guys are idiots, knock it off, separate the playing field. I don't know. I just know that India and Pakistan are going to start a small scale war, and it's going to be interesting. They've already cut off water rights. They're doing all sorts of diplomatic things that are pissing off a lot of people. So the ball's already rolling. How
Mm-hmm.
how fast it gains speed, how fast we actually get into actual armed conflict, much like the Ukraine-Russian war, I don't know. But to me, that is much bigger than Pope Francis. Pope Francis was a wonderful person. He was a respected pillar of community,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very sad to see him go. But if you obliterate a couple million people, I'm thinking that's probably a little bit bigger. But I don't know, and I don't know when it's going to happen or if it's going to happen.
I just hope that it never happens because future events are always in flux. It's fluid. It can be changed
Hey,
as long as it hasn't happened yet. It can be changed.
can you imagine a bunch of remote viewers who accurately describe future events saying, hey, if you guys do this, this is what's going to happen. So pull your head out of your butt. Don't do this. The event is changed. So now the future event is no longer going to happen because a bunch of remote viewers accurately described what could happen if. If we were good enough to accurately describe a future event or an
Well,
actual event, maybe we can change the future. It's kind of like a remote viewer seeing a robber rob a house, having the cops there at the time the robber is robbing the house, catching the robber in act so the house is not robbed. Did the event happen? I think Lynn Buchanan talked about that in one of his podcasts. So, it's kind of like the Pope. Could we have forecasted the time of his death so we would have had uh, an ambulance on standby to take him immediately to the hospital the minute before he passes away? Hook him up to an oxygen, give him another couple of weeks of life. I mean, these issues that we could do will play an important role in as remote viewing gets into a wider audience. This is what we're going to be looking at as far as what we can do and what we change by
yeah,
looking
but
at
the,
targets.
the key is that remote viewers need to be I would say seen as credible sources of information in the first place. If the people don't believe it, then your warnings doesn't matter
Right.
because people just don't listen to you.
Right, and that's the other thing is a credible source of information. It's kind of like the psychic field. I mean, how many of the psychics are actually good psychics? Well, a very small number. How many of them are shills? Well, a fairly large number. So now that
Mm-hmm.
you have so many shills in the psychic field, it puts a bad face on the remaining psychics that are really, really good. There's
Mm-hmm.
some really good psychics out there, and like a remote viewer, very hard to tell the difference between a shill and a really good psychic. It's
Mm-hmm.
very hard to tell a really good remote viewer or
Mm-hmm.
really good data. So, but yeah, my biggest fear right now is a massive earth change and India and Pakistan. So while the west coast of the United States burns, India and Pakistan are gonna go at it, and their small disturbance will create ripples throughout the rest of the nations. So it's
Or
gonna be
maybe we should start asking people to remote view where is the safest place on this planet. And let's just get together there.
so on that
That's
note,
that's also important for us, you
on
know.
on that note, if you look where Lynn Buchanan, Lori Williams, Paul Smith, you look at all these remote viewers, where are they living at? You know where they're living at? They're living down in New Mexico, USA. Why are they living in Mexico? Not New Mexico and Arizona. Why are they living down in that particular area? So these are questions I'd like to know because you have remote viewers with exceptional skills living in a
Mm-hmm.
particular area. So, mm,
I have some
Maybe.
idea why they're there.
climate, lack of government oversight. Yeah, there's a lot of good reasons to live there. It's really pretty.
Well, it's also one of those spots that should fare really well during the upcoming solar event.
What upcoming solar event?
About every 12,000 years, the sun will flash.
Oh,
Well, it goes dark first, then it'll flash, and it'll sterilize the half of the Earth pointed toward it. This time should be Europe and Africa if it keeps up the pattern it's been doing. And that'll decouple the magnetic lock between the core and the crust, and it will spin 90 degrees. And this is why you get the alternating
yeah, the
fossils of tropical and polar fossils in Antarctica. And there's a giant wave that'll sweep over continents and pretty much destroy a lot of life. And that place is relatively safe up there.
yeah. It's far enough inland where you don't have to worry about the big ass wave that's going to come in. Let's see. The Earth
Yeah,
spins this way, so the wave will be traveling westward.
should be north south this time, pretty much,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know. I'm thinking that the wave would be traveling westward as the Earth spins. The the flash will hit, so the wave should travel. I don't know. That'd be interesting to try to
Last
figure that out.
Well, the sciencey people last time it came over North America and washed like over California, over the Rocky Mountains, and filled up the Great Basin, and continued on into the Mississippi area. So I think the Appalachian Mountains might have been okay, but it also flashed over us. So the only survivors were out in the American Southwest, and then the at least one of the times looked like the ones that wiped out what they call Atlantis. The Mediterranean came out of its basin and went across northern Africa
Hmm.
and just absolutely scrubbed that down to the bedrock. But places like I think, yeah, there were other ones like I think parts of Spain, like Madrid, lived through it. Siberia lived through it last time.
I'd like to know how Madrid lived
There
through it.
were,
I mean, you imagine
I think there's no,
a wall of water traveling in a particular direction is going to do so much damage, but even the rebound effect is going to do damage. Once it hits a
oh,
continent, when it sloshes
absolutely.
back, yeah. I don't think I'd want to be on an
Yeah, it's
island
definitely.
anywhere.
Oh, I think Hawaii would get erased.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's when I look here where I'm at, I get the feeling like the water is going to be just below me, and I'll be okay because the wave's coming in at a different angle this time. And other people have said the same thing about where the new coastline will be, and it's not very far away from me.
The funny thing is so I've
I'm like,
when I remote view Space Case's location, he's going to have beachfront property, and that's just because of the way the plates ride, and his current location is going to be where the new ocean is going to be. He's going to have saltwater front, so his property will probably be worth a lot more. Well, kind of.
well, I went the well. I mean, here's something I did, and I wonder what you think about it. I was trying to figure out what I should be doing in life, and I asked my, I don't know, friends, spirit guides, whatever you want to call them, if I can make a safe place for people to live here. And they got
Mhm.
back to me a week later. It's the longest delay I've ever seen from them. And they said, your plan has barely been approved. And I thought about this, and I'm like, well, first of all, that means it wasn't my mission in life. Second of all, it means it's possible. So, um, yeah, so I don't know. And next of all, like we're very clear about you can fail. Like this is your project. It can fail. They also pointed out that no one would be living here if I didn't do it. Like there would be nobody here.
Yeah. So basically, just you have to make
So
the effort in order to make life sustainable, because where you're at is going to be just absolutely pummeled. So, and where Lynn's at is
yeah,
going to
so I
be
need to
wrapped up in all sorts of calamity too. I mean, any kind of wave, that little island that he's living on, all the all the ports around that island are going to get wiped out, except for the ones on the opposite side of whichever direction the wave comes from. There's an island off of I think it's Africa that's due to slide into the ocean, which is going to cause a massive wave that's going to roll across at the Atlantic. And it's I can't remember the name of the island, but that
yeah,
event
I've
alone,
seen that.
yeah.
And there are reports that the Soviets had planted an underwater nuke under there to make it happen on command to wipe out the east coast of the US.
That's a great idea. That is a great idea. Between that and putting a drone right out in the in front of LA, you put a drone sub out there, and then you just launch one of the big nukes, and you have a wall of dirty water just raging across Hollywood. I mean, it would literally make that area uninhabitable. How many millions of people are in that particular area? So, and I
Oh,
know,
it would be yeah.
yeah, and I know the Puget Sound has sensors and buoys, and they have all sorts of hardware out there to keep people from doing exactly that, bringing a small unmanned drone into the area, and then making the naval bases uninhabitable, because we've got multiple naval bases out here, and they're target number one. And a wall of dirty water would make it so you can't even be anywhere near this area for many, many years.
Right. Yeah, I think it's if they use the what I think Cobalt 60 was their plan, and
Yep.
that's like 300 years nobody would be able to be there. Even if you were an underground facility there, you'd still die. Like you can't stay no matter what.
Yeah, it's uninhabitable. You basically salt the earth, which is a common technique. So
Yeah.
we have so much coming up
So
that
yeah, I don't
it's just insane. And it's we excel at many things, and killing each other is one of our top
well, it's like no wonder the
achievements.
hobbits and the giants and Neanderthal are gone because humans got rid of them all.
Yep. Yep. So, all right.
Um,
Well,
oh,
let's
but the only thing I do remote viewing is trying to figure out if my area is safe, and I think it might be. But I mean, I think the trick is do it. You know, what's your ideal life condition? What are you doing? Go remote view that and see. Everybody should be doing that.
yeah. Yeah. So as far as being safe, no, your area is not safe. But is it habitable? Yes, it is habitable. Plus, you've got ideal conditions for many things. So, God, we could actually make a service trying to find out if your area is going to make it or not. Florida is not going to make it. For those who
So,
are interested, Florida will not make it. It doesn't matter what happens, Florida is going to be devastated, and a lot of the
Do you
infrastructure is going away.
remember why? So Ed Dames used to tell people where the safe places were,
Yeah.
and he stopped because he did that. And he said a bunch of selfish people that wouldn't help a community moved into this town he mentioned. And he said it absolutely ruined its future. It wasn't safe at all anymore.
Yeah.
And he ruined it. So he said he's not telling anybody where that was. And so one day on Coast to Coast AM, he did take calls and he said he would like tell you whether or not the state would have any areas like that. People would ask like Florida, and he'd say no. Ohio, he'd say no. He'd like whatever it was. When somebody asked him about California, he said not really. And my first thought is that's what I can manage to set up.
Not really, but I like that. Well, yeah, long story there, but yeah, California, land of the fruits and nuts, and a whole lot of shaking. God, that place is gonna get
Oh my
devastated.
god,
So,
it
all right.
is. But anyway, but like New Mexico, Arizona, bunches of safe places there. But still, like a service that really checks somebody out and see if they're going to break a place before you tell them where, because that's apparently a big deal. At least he managed to break a city telling people.
Yeah, I just look at where the people who have the skills go to, and that just tells me lots. So, all right,
Right, exactly.
Like a good indicator.
it is, it is. All right, Lynn. So we did a fantastic job on the fantastic target, and we need to find another fantastic target for next week. Are you going to do the same thing and do you use chatbot to locate a good target?
To be honest, I don't really have any idea at the moment because I really would like to diversify the remote viewing targets that we practice on each week. So if it's always me giving out targets, then yeah, is at some point you will start removing
I
similar targets over and over again. It's maybe it's not necessarily the same one, but to be honest, if you really want to practice on this, I would say diversify the target pools is very important. So I would like to everyone, yeah, anyone who is listening right now, if you want if you want whether on YouTube or in your Discord, if you want us to remove you something, yeah, just leave a comment or just speak up in the Discord channel, and yeah, we will put that into consideration.
right. Me and Snowblind recently looked for a lost wedding ring. A simple task like a lost wedding ring or a lost item is just as important
Mm-hmm.
as the passing of the Pope.
Oh yeah,
Each target
definitely.
each target that's picked out for our contest has merit
Mm-hmm.
as long as it's not
Yes,
too wild.
yes,
Um,
100% agree.
yeah,
So
we'll keep the
I have a
wild
question.
targets. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I have a question about a target. And this is definitely I don't know how much I should say, but it followed me home for about a week, and I get the feeling like I shouldn't disturb it. It's a
Mm-hmm.
place, and oh my gosh, it I kind of worry about disturbing it since and I finally separated myself from it. But if that kind of target sounds interesting, um, I've got that, and I snapped a picture of the place so people would have something to track in on.
Or maybe we should just use it as a geolocate practice, like describe that place and
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
to see if.
Why don't we do two? I'll pay the $10 for the geolocate. So we'll actually set the task. We'll use that as a geolocate target for next week. And if
Mm-hmm,
it's a place, you said, right? It's an actual place. So
mm-hmm.
It's an actual place. Yeah.
okay, then we'll use that as a geolocate target because my geolocate targets skills suck, and I need as much practice as I can get.
Okay, and I know some of the history behind this, but mostly it was just the oddest energy ever.
Yeah, yeah.
And I asked my mom over, and she walked in, and like it followed us home for about a week or more.
That just
Mm-hmm.
sounds cool. Yeah. So yeah, definitely
Okay.
wrap it up in a target number and send it to the target. I don't know, where do you want to post it? When do you want to target?
Can I send the target to, or I mean the picture to Lynn, and then I don't know how to come
Oh,
up with a
sure.
number
No,
or
no, no, no,
hide the
no, no, no,
picture.
no, 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 no. Don't send it to Lynn. Lynn is going to do this geolocate target.
Okay.
How about we do contact me on Friday and just have all the information wrapped up, and then contact me on Friday because I want to do it too. And then me and Lynn
Okay.
and everybody else can do this geolocate target.
Yeah, just make sure that we are blind to it before you send us anything.
Yeah, yeah. And that
Okay.
that gives us a chance. So, well, cool,
Okay.
cool.
Because I do know some of the history of that spot. So
Yeah, I like having a lot of information when I do these the geolocate targets, having the information on hand. So cool, cool. Um, and then we'll find a good target for next week's contest. Hopefully, somebody from Twitter can actually suggest something. It'd be really cool.
Uh,
I know,
just
I know.
just hopefully.
Yeah.
We barely get attention from people. That tells you how early we are.
Well, tomorrow I'm going on Kiwi Joe, the Kiwi Joe show. Me and
Hmm.
me and Rhythmist are going on to the Kiwi Joe show because we've been invited to talk to a Zoom meeting, and they're going to record it. And I'm going to do
Hmm.
is I'm going to tell them about Lynn's contest for ZPC coin. So I'm going to advertise your contest on the Kiwi Joe show,
Oh, thank you.
and we just got to come up with a good target for. We'll come up with a good target for next week, and then hopefully we'll all be blind to it. So
Yeah, maybe you can just ask for his advice. Yeah, what should we remove you for next week? Yeah,
hit him
just
up
make
for
an offer.
yeah, hit
Just
him.
make an offer because we are all blind to it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll hit him up for the target. See if he's got something for our community to view, because that would be cool. Kiwi Joe's got a good target. Don't know what it is. Here's the number. Let's take a look at it. So
Uh-huh. And the target will be revealed next
next week,
Saturday.
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right, I like that idea. Hopefully, I can. Oh, Rhythmus is gone. Shit. Excuse me. Yeah. Cool. I'll do that tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll remember to do that, but I will do that tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. So if he wants to give a target, then let's just do it. If he doesn't want to, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. He doesn't want to.
Yeah.
So.
Either way, we'll know tomorrow. Find out which way we're
Hmm.
gonna go. So,
Okay.
all right, man. I'm gonna go take care of my chickens and ducks. I got
Hmm.
a bunch of eggs my ducks are sitting on. So in probably a couple of weeks, I'll have 40 new ducks. Maybe I'll bring a couple in next week
oh
and I'll show you.
my gosh, tiny ducks are so cute. I see them at Tractor Supply.
I know, I know. I am so excited. They grow up and they poop all over everything, but man, they are so cute. So I'm gonna go take care of
We
my
shouldn't have
ducks.
any ticks around.
What's that?
They, I've heard that they devastate tick populations.
They devastate everything. I have no frogs, no ticks, no bugs, no. Yeah, they are very effective. But I have lots of poop, lots and lots and lots of duck poop.
Yeah, I've heard that's the biggest problem.
Yeah. Plus, my ducks like to fly and they like to sit up on top of things. So my handrails, where I walk out on my deck, they like to sit there and they'll turn around and face the yard, so they're pooping on the deck. And they fly out of the pen, so I
Oh,
can't keep them contained. They just jump up and fly out, and it's like the wife is
you
gonna.
need a fence on over the
I
top.
I need to.
I have to fence.
I got to clip their wings, so I'm not looking forward to it.
Oh, I've got a fence in over the top of all my things, or like the ravens will come in and kill my chickens
Yeah,
and things like that. Bobcats will get in, like everything. I've got a fence in all that so they nothing can get in or out.
right. Luckily, all my hawks and eagles and owls have come to an agreement with the ducks that this many will go to snacking on, this many will survive, so it's okay. It's
Oh, that's
nature.
good to hear.
It's a nature thing. It's really bizarre. So,
Yeah.
all right, Lynn, you ready to wrap it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's almost time for this week. Yeah, very appreciating the effort from all remote viewers. We have got 6 remote viewers participating. Yeah, although it's not a big number, but yeah, to me that really means something.
Yeah, and hopefully, if we get a good target from Kiwi Joe, we may get some
Mm-hmm.
more listeners too. So let's see. We don't know what we don't know can't hurt us. I don't know what Jeff is talking about. They have tiny arsenals. Give me all you got. Minority Report. They stopped a big attack prevented with RV. Yeah, they did stop a big attack and they prevented it with our RV. So that was. I'm trying to remember who that was. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we will wrap this up for the day, and I will go take care of
Mm-hmm.
everything. Well, thank you,
Okay,
Lynn. Thank you,
so
Lynn.
yeah, thank you as well. Thank you everyone. Yeah, have a good weekend. Goodbye.
Bye.